Hello and welcome to the Comic-Spiracy, episode 564 for the week of Tuesday, November 1st, 2022. I knew it was November. My name is Ryan Higgins. Who's here this week?
Brock Sager.
Kevin.
And Charlie.
There it is.
There it is. Amazing.
Kevin, con reports are not done. You went to... It's just called Baltimore Comic-Con?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there's not like another name to it or anything like that.
Baltimore Comic-Con.
We have a crap load of movie and TV stuff to talk about this week. But let's talk about some comic stuff first. You went to a Comic-Con. Tell us about it. I love hearing about out-of-state cons because I don't get to go to too many of them.
This was my first time in the city of Baltimore and at the con. So this is a hell of a commitment, a 3,000-mile trip just for a comic convention. But it was...
Baltimore's got a good reputation. I mean, it's...
Yes.
It
was amazing.
Yeah, it's got a real good reputation.
It was one of the best conventions I've ever been to. Ever.
Nice.
Now, it didn't have like the announcements and all the buzz and all the publisher booths and celebrities and all of this stuff. It was just imagine, you guys, just close your eyes and imagine a show floor where the entirety of the space is taken up by comic creators and comic book dealers. It was...
Sounds fun.
Oh, God. There was a celebrity area, but it was like its own little kind of niche of the convention center, of the hall.
Yeah.
Just one little row along one wall was where the celebrity photo ops were, but everybody else was somehow comic connected. It was just pure pleasure. And there are so many creators. One of the reasons I went is because there are so many creators who just never come west. And as people are starting to, let's say, be unavailable, I didn't want to lose chances. So I took my DC book and I got, I think, 31 signatures over the weekend.
Jeez.
Yeah, just people who I've never seen at shows before or who I have seen but didn't have the book with me when I saw them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
For new listeners, Kevin has a copy of the History of the DC Universe signed by hardcover, right? One of the signed editions that was signed by George Perez and Marv Wolfman, right? That's how they came.
Yes.
And has started this task of getting everyone and anyone involved with DC Comics to sign this book. And you were lucky to have started at a time when many Golden and Silver Age guys were still around.
And doing cons.
Yeah. But you have ramped it up in recent years.
Oh, yeah.
And
so right now it's hovering around.
What's your count?
It's
Are you
hovering
like
right around 200 right now.
Okay. Have you put a map together?
I have a spreadsheet. But it's not keyed to what each signature is, so I'd have to go through process of elimination. But you know what? The thing with this con, and Ryan, you've been with me to getting this book signed like at San Diego. The thing with this con is half the people who I took it up to, I ended up having a long conversation with about the book. It wasn't just a bam and move on. So I'll share one example of this just to kind of sum up the whole thing rather than go through 30 names. Mike Gold, who has got to be, I'm going to say 80 right now, was the editor of History of the DC Universe, the series, when it came out.
Oh, wow. Cool.
He was at the con. It took me 4 freaking tries at his table because he kept wandering around the con and he was just never at his table. But I finally got him. On the last day, I got him. And this was amazing because I went up. So they made 1,000 copies of this particular edition of the book. I went up to him. I set the book down and his eyes went like a Tex Avery like cartoon seeing the sexy woman. His eyes went like that. And he goes, I thought I had signed every copy of this in existence. And then he,
I got one, right? So I grabbed one a little while ago. Finally a reasonably priced copy. So we've got 2 of the 1,000 on this podcast.
Well, he opens it up and then that's when the real pleasure started because I stood there. There was nobody behind me in line because honestly, it's not like an editor from the 80s is going to be a huge in demand item at or guest. There's nobody behind me. So I stood at his table for probably 10 minutes while he flipped through that book. And it was like watching an old man flip through his high school yearbook because he kept pointing, oh, so-and-so, so-and-so. And he was just going along with his finger along every name. And then he signed it. And he's like, he said how touched he was and honored he was that I made the effort to get his name in that book. And it was so cool. And that was just one example because the whole weekend was like that. And
that's awesome.
And so,
that's a great story.
So now I'm at the very back of the book, because I've used up all the real estate. And so people were joking like, oh yeah, I should be at the back. And I'm going, no. It's no comment on your ranking. It's just literally I'm out of room. Like I'm out of room. Like names are piling on top of each other at this point on these pages.
You're gonna have to start going into the artwork and I'm gonna have to start a
sort of backing board in it and just start from there. But yeah, but the whole weekend was like that. And then so that was just one thing. I mean, Mike Dringenberg, the Sandman artist, was there.
Yeah, so that was I don't know the story, but he just does not do cons.
He hasn't done cons in 20 years.
Yeah, so that was like,
so for him
that's a big
get. So you're used to going to San Diego and cons like that where so Frank Miller and Jim Lee were there, and of course that's like a package that you buy. So those guys had huge crowds, but as far as in the regular con, you had to pick up a Dringenberg ticket in the morning, a free ticket from Hero Initiative. And then I'm telling you, that line had to be 200 deep. I mean, the guy was like, it was like Robert Plant walked into a music convention. I mean, it was like a superstar. It was unbelievable. Yeah. It was all the way down one wall of the convention center waiting for this guy. And he was just signing.
Oh, I mean, I have to, probably due to the show, I'm sure there's a not, I don't know how many flippers are at a place like this or how many speculators or CGC or stuff like that. But I have to assume too that, people took this as the opportunity of, like, again, how many times have I said this about going to cons or going to concerts or, like you with that book, right? It's just like, I don't know when this will ever happen again. Like we're getting to that point.
Dringenberg had a limit of 5 items. You had to pay for each item, but buy a ticket for each. So you could have,
but it was all to the Hero Initiative, right? Yeah.
So many people had, and we're in the world now of paid signatures. And so many people had a signature price on their table. And I would say half of them didn't charge me anything, even those with the price posted, because they saw that this is not an item that's going to be CGC'd. It's not an item that's going to be on eBay. And everybody, I'm telling you, everyone would look at that Neil Adams signature on the front cover and go,
and just start laughing.
Yeah, and go, wow, Neil really took up a lot of room. I'm like, no. In fairness to Neil, that's on me because I asked him to do that because that was my first paid signature, right? But anyway, it was so much fun. So I got all those signatures. I shopped for back issues. I got some treasury. I took some treasuries for Jose Garcia Lopez to sign. I actually, for the first time that I can remember, packed an actual suitcase to go to a comic convention with comics and hardcovers and treasuries in it and an art portfolio just to have room. I never do this ever, but I figure if I'm going to travel this far, let's go big. Yep. Go big. Yeah. So I paid for art, signatures, comics, books. It was awesome. It was amazing. And again, it's not like the center of the universe excitement, like something like San Diego is, where it's just like the buzz of the industry.
Yeah.
But it was just a pure, pleasurable convention in every way. Highly recommended. Amazing. Great show.
Nice. Was the dealer room was it like walls of Funko Pops or was it like they kept it comics?
There was probably two tables with Funkos.
Yeah, like they kept it comic
Yeah,
books.
and by 2 tables with Funkos, I don't even mean they were all Funkos. I mean 2 tables selling Funkos.
Right.
Yeah,
no, that's great.
It was comics, toys, statues, stuff like that. All kind of comic centric. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's cool.
Oh yeah.
So besides them, who were the big signatures? Yeah, I have to list everyone, but
no, like I stood in line for Garth Ennis, and by stood in line, I mean I was the 5th person. So. I mean, Al Milgram, I've never seen Al at a show before. It was all people that Jerry Ordway, Klaus Janson, Jill Thompson. It was a lot of folks who just don't come west. Alex Saviuk, And just I'm thinking of like, and anybody with, honestly, as morbid as this might sound, anyone with gray hair, I'm going up to them and I'm going to pay, because who knows when another chance is going to come. And that doesn't mean they're going to drop dead tomorrow. It just means they may just go, I'm done with being on the road. But I know this is good radio. I have to show you guys this. Sorry, listeners. So I'm holding up right now a little Justice League of America book. Here it is next to my face for sale.
Yeah, those are the old digests from the 70s.
So I had this. I used to take this to school for silent reading period, this exact one, because it's the massive 3-part crossover with the JLA, JSA, and the Seven Soldiers. I loved this book so much as a child, and I have not seen this book in decades until I got a copy at the show this weekend.
Nice.
And now it's come back.
Nice.
That's cool. That's cool.
How was the condition?
The show was full of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the East Coast, is where the older collectors are, right?
Yep.
The shops started, coming out of New York, and New York Comic-Con is obviously such a big thing now that it's more like Comic-Con. So I'm sure Baltimore is probably the closest big con of like, no, we could still be an old school Comic-Con, and we're going to get all the New York guys and all the Florida guys. And yeah, it's like the dealers have been there since the 70s or the 60s. So yeah, it makes sense that it's more aimed at that sort of stuff.
I mean, dude, half that hall was comic book dealers. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great.
And then to put a capper on the weekend, flying back, I'm on the same flight with Liam Sharp and his wife.
Oh, nice.
In the early morning at the airport, and we're chatting at the gate, and I'm like, was that just me or was that a great show? And he's like, that was an amazing show. I sold out of everything I brought, busy like sketching and signing all weekend long. He didn't even get a chance to like look at the sights of the city because he was so busy. Yeah. And that's, both bad and good. You go all that way and you don't get to really see it. But on the other hand, you've got fans just at your table nonstop for 3 straight days. Yeah. So that was the capper, flying back with them and just being like, we were both just like, that was so, because we both travel the same distance and just going. Like he lives an hour away, and just going like that was so worth it.
Not for long though. He's going back to the other side.
Yep. We'll leave that alone for now. There's a lot of reasons for that. Is why I'm saying it like that.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But like,
no, that's cool.
That's a plane full of sharps right there.
Yep. I'm an honorary member of the family, Brock. Don't you know?
The distant relative.
This is somewhere back down the tree. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. No, I mean, I love hearing about the old Comic-Cons and the actual comic book conventions because look, I love San Diego, but there is just something cool about those type of shows. Mm-hmm. They're not usually what cons are these days, dude. Most cons are very media focused or celebrity focused, and I'll be curious how Fan Expo does here because again, that's a big celebrity con. But what I've always heard about them is that there is a ton of comic stuff there too, and a lot of comic creators and a lot of dealers. So this is the first one. We'll see how it is for California, for San Francisco. But
that's Thanksgiving, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's about a month from now. Yeah, but the lineup looks pretty good, and so I hope they can bring that similar sort of energy. WonderCon was still one of my absolute favorite things to do every year. It was the right mix of celebrity stuff, and it was kind of the early days of that where celebrities being at comic conventions were sort of like I don't mean like the guy that played the Gorn from Star Trek. I mean like the actual like movie celebrity people started rolling in, like, and there was actual at the very tail end was like when the movies were starting to really blow up, and I kind of miss having a con like that around here.
Yeah, so if you say like San Diego, New York are on one extreme. The other extreme would be like Baltimore and Heroes, stuff like that. Heroes Con in North Carolina. And then kind of that midpoint would be WonderCon, Emerald City, C2E2.
Yeah.
So everybody who goes to cons kind of pick the flavor that you're most interested in, and then you pick the convention to go to. Anyone who's seriously interested in comic books and doesn't care about photo ops, I cannot recommend Baltimore highly enough.
Is this something you can see yourself going back to every couple of years?
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
It was great. Oh, and then I bumped into Didio just
Yeah, I mean he's local, so
Wandering
local-ish.
around. He just was there at the. They had a retailer summit.
Yeah. I think Baltimore is where the Diamond Summit is every year.
Yep.
So yeah, I think him and Frank Miller had a presentation at the Baltimore Summit or at the Diamond Summit. Yeah, those have been on my list for a couple of years or for a while now because it's like I feel like I should go to more to those, but again, it's East Coast, West Coast. It's convenient when they have stuff like that out here too. So we'll see. No, that's cool. That's cool. I love hearing about the history of the DC Universe book. That's like one of my favorite things ever. I'm happy that that's still getting around because that book is.
Apparently,
I mean, literally priceless at this point.
Aren't they renewing it, reprinting it next year? I saw something about that. They're reissuing the hardcover next year.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, obviously not the
like
signed edition.
A new edition. Right. A new edition of it. Yeah.
But Fabian Nicieza was like, "Have you had this appraised?"
That's what I wouldn't even. That's what I said. Like, it's
Priceless.
Priceless because I mean the amount of people that are in there that have passed away.
I mean, some of the signatures are personalized to me, though.
Yeah,
which, who knows?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. I wouldn't even worry about that.
Whoever outlives me can worry about doing something with the book.
Well, we're gonna definitely turn from all comic books to no comic books at all because this is going to be a movie conspiracy. Kevin, you can check out early.
Yes,
I don't know what is
still on
up.
East Coast time, so yes.
I'll
give you what I've got.
I don't know what is up. There's been there's always a couple comic book news stuff, but it feels like the last week has been just the last 2 weeks have been just a ridiculous amount of comic book news for movies. I mean, I guess this is around the time where shows are going to be canceled and movies for next year and the year after are starting to really get ramped up. And I don't know, it just feels like more stuff has got announced in this last week than I was prepped for. So I will hit it. We'll do some Marvel, do some DC. I don't really have any other comic news. We'll probably get through this pretty quick, but feel free to just drop a couple comments in as I go through this stuff, everyone. And we'll get out of here. Marvel, who will not recast Iron Man, Captain America, Black Panther, has no problem recasting Thunderbolt Ross because we have a new actor that will be playing Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross after William Hurt passed away, and that is, of all people, Harrison Ford. Huh? What? Does he know what he signed up for? Does Harrison Ford did he think this was something else? Does he know he's signing up for a Marvel movie? This seems like the last thing in the world this guy would want to do. It seems very weird. I don't know.
I don't know. It depends on how big the paycheck is for how little time. Because at least historically, Thunderbolt Ross has been around, but he's not been. He's not leading the movie traditionally. At least in the previous movies.
Yeah, so he's word is he's going to make his first appearance in Captain America: New World Order. So I don't know what his role in that would be, but you think Thunderbolt's maybe a good place for him, but I don't know. Yeah, it's just weird role. I don't know what to think about that. Harrison Ford is not the person that I see as Thunderbolt Ross. Especially if they're going to do anything else. They're going to make him, was he Red Hulk?
Yeah, he was Red Hulk.
Yeah, so I don't see him doing that, I don't know. It's just a weird cast. I don't know what to think about that. I think it's very, very strange. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think they sat down and went, what can we offer him to do? And that's what they settled on. And
yeah,
I mean, to your point, I don't see them casting him in a traditional superhero role, which means he would be completely relegated to one of the more human characters that exist.
Yeah.
And if they do want to go like Red Hulk, well, you don't need to worry about the physicality and stuff at that point. You don't have to have him do the mocap like a lot of other people have done.
Yeah, and just have him do the voice.
Yeah. Especially if they get him to sign over like his voice ahead of time, so they don't. They could just pay him.
I mean, it's not comic specific, but boy,
James Earl Jones.
Yeah, James Earl Jones signing over his voice rights to Disney to be the AI voiced Darth Vader for all of eternity. God, I don't like that at all. It just doesn't work. It's just not right. It's just not going to sound right. It's going to sound all weird. Like, people can take over, and other people can do that voice.
As far as I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they've already had the CGI voice in something, didn't they?
Yeah, was it Obi-Wan?
I think that's what they said that they did with the CGI.
I thought it was Obi-Wan. Yeah. It's a strange one.
And it wasn't something that like immediately leapt out at me like, this doesn't sound right. If anything, I'm a little more forgiving if the voice doesn't sound quite 100% when you get to that age. So until somebody told me it was an AI, I wasn't immediately going like, that seems like it's an AI or something. But no, I agree. We're in a weird time where I will say this. I would rather they cast Harrison Ford to play Thunderbolt Ross than do the whole CGI deep fake somebody else just to stay consistent.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm happy with the recast. It's a weird choice, but yeah. Another Marvel show got announced. Obviously no ETA on this, but if you were wondering where Vision wandered off to at the end of WandaVision, well, like 5 years later, he's going to show up in Vision. The Vision is going to show up in the aptly titled Vision Quest series from Disney Plus. So that is gonna. I mean, obviously, who knows when? There's no news about this. It's not even an official thing, but this is deadline. So, we're getting one of the weird problems. When a comic book has a cliffhanger ending, it's usually picked up next month. When a movie has a cliffhanger ending, it's usually picked up years down the road, right? Because unless you're like The Matrix or like Lord of the Rings or whatever, like the movies don't come out like right up top of each other. So when Vision just kind of wandered off, I was like, well, we'll see him sometime. I don't expect it'll be anytime soon. Which is cool. I don't know why you do that and just not a second season of WandaVision. I feel like emotionless white Vision maybe needs someone else there to be, you would think Wanda would be there. I mean, obviously she's dead, but okay, sure. She's dead. She's dead for now.
Well, aren't they casting, like, is WonderMan in it?
I saw there was
like
some.
Cast somebody for WonderMan.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name.
Is it?
Are they recasting WonderMan?
No. So this was. I don't think it's unrelated. Yeah, he is. That's on my list, but he's not in. He's not in Vision Quest. No. Oh, this guy's name. Where is it? Oh yeah, Yaha Abdul Mateen the second, who was an Aquaman, fucking
Black Manta.
Black Manta. Thank you.
Wasn't he in the Watchmen show?
Yes.
Yeah, he's Yes, Watchmen. Yes,
he's Sister Knight's husband.
Yes.
Yeah. He's the other Dr. Manhattan, right? No. Yeah. Yeah, he's the one that becomes Dr. Manhattan, right?
Spoiler, but yes.
Spoiler for a show that's like a few years old.
Yeah, whatever.
Like, before
that's such a when I saw that casting, it's like I'm of two minds on this. Is
for WonderMan?
Yes, on WonderMan. On one hand, being Caucasian is not central to the WonderMan character. On the other hand, for most of the MCU, they've cast like comic accurate actors for the majority of the major roles.
Yeah.
On the other hand, though, he was really great on Watchmen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, though, he's also been in Watchmen and Aquaman, and we're getting to the point of like microwaving 2-day-old pizza. We're just let's use him on another comic project.
Yeah.
It's not exciting anymore. So I don't know what to think. I mean, we talked about Henry Cavill a couple of weeks ago. If you had told me Henry Cavill was going to be Wonder Man, I'd be, let's go. With this, it's kind of like, I'll wait and see how it looks.
Yeah, Wonder Man should, in theory, I guess, be more of a comedy series like She-Hulk. I would expect that's how they'll play it. Being
is it going to be the entourage of the Marvel universe?
I mean, they've had like there's like Avengers Wonder Man, and then there's like 90s Wonder Man where he's like a celebrity,
celebrity,
yeah, it's like actor and all this stuff. So I assume that's the way they're gonna play it, but I don't know, maybe not. I can't imagine they'll. I mean, wonder. What's the? I'm so blanking on the whole backstory with him and Vision and Ant-Man,
isn't he like he's the brother of some?
Well, yeah. What is Wonder Man's? Kevin, I'm looking at you. Do you remember? Like, I'm totally blanking on. He has like some convoluted backstory connection to like
the Grim Reaper is his brother.
Yes. Grim Reaper, right.
But wasn't it? It wasn't. Gosh, anybody who knows this is going to be screaming at their podcast. It was Charlie? Come on, step in on this. Wasn't his brain? The Vision's brain was
the Vision's.
It was
brain.
Like imprinted from his.
Hank Pym.
It wasn't like a copy of his mind, but it was like a scan of his mind or something like that was used.
Yeah, so Ant-Man used his brain to make the Vision, right?
That's why Wonder Man has that unrequited crush on Wanda.
Yeah. So I don't expect Wonder Man will be part of Vision Quest and all that, but who knows? There is one thing though. We now have nearly the entire West Coast Avengers with Wonder Man on the team. So our Wonder Man coming to the movies. So
we're gonna get the brown coat Avengers. We need
Tigra. Who else do we need? We need Tigra. Who are the rest of the West Coast Avengers? Who am I missing?
Wasn't she in that?
Well, Hank Pym.
Yeah, so we have Hank Pym, right?
Well, I don't think you're gonna have Michael Douglas running around with Hawkeye and Tigra.
No, but we have Ant-Man. Okay. I mean, I'm just trying to think. Who the heck else was on? I had it in my list here. Tigra, Scarlet Witch, Vision, Mockingbird, Wonder Man. I mean, technically, Mockingbird was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., right?
Yep.
So, West Coast Avengers.
I mean, they got close to Tigra with Chippendale. They used the cartoon version of her.
War Machine. Who else did I say? Yeah, we got most of them. We got the big ones. I'm excited for that. We should totally get a West Coast Avengers movie. Anyway, more Marvel shows coming along with everything else that they're going to do. Vision should be cool. I don't really have much of a Wonder Man. I mean, no idea. Just depends what they do with it. I've liked Wonder Man enough, but never been my favorite. Something that is my favorite though, Ant-Man. I've loved the Ant-Man movies. Quantumania trailer hit during around the time of our last recording, so we did not get to talk about it. And I don't know.
A bunch of stuff happens in it. It feels like a grounded Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Kevin, I don't know. You were pretty out on trailers. I don't know if you care at all about Ant-Man.
Oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to that movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Therefore, I didn't watch any of it.
Okay. Keeping specifics light for you, but it doesn't at all feel like the other two Ant-Man movies. It feels just like a Guardians or some other movie because
it feels like they've updated Inner Space.
Yeah, it's all in like the
quantum realms.
Well, okay, it's like the microverse, right? It's whatever they're going to adapt. The quantum realm. It's basically like the.
It feels like they're beating DC to the punch. Like I feel like all the stuff I saw in that was
for the Atom or something.
Like part of me was like, isn't this supposed to be an Atom movie?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it feels very much like the Atom, that
universe, right? Like,
yeah. What's it called? The
oh god, I don't remember.
Like when he goes to like the subatomic, like the world down there.
I know,
but I think Marvel has like a similar version of that. I can't remember what it's called. It's not just the microverse, right? Is it just called the microverse?
I think
it's not what it's called.
I think so. The quantum realm.
Yeah. So in the movies, right, the quantum realm, but it just doesn't feel like this is a total. So the other two movies have been like these sort of like heist, kind of superhero heist movies. This looks from the trailer like a completely different thing. Which, sure, fine, okay, I don't need it to be the same movie again, but it doesn't. It feels very different,
So, when you say sort of beating DC to it or whatnot, like to me, honestly, it feels a little bit more like beating Marvel to it, just because the story reminds me a little too much of what would be considered like a classic Fantastic Four.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah. This is them going to the Negaverse or the
negative.
Yeah, the negative. What are they? Where's
Negative Zone?
Negative Zone. Thank you, Negative Zone. Yeah. No, that's what this feels like again, which is cool. I mean, I'm okay with this. Sure. I mean, for me, Ant-Man's 2 for 2, so I'm excited. It just looks like a completely different movie. Boy. Kang, man, they've got to. I hope he's good because Loki was awful. I hated that last episode where they introduced Kang.
They made it clear that it was not
Kang. It's the same. It's the variant of Kang. It's Kang. It's Kang.
Come on, you've watched enough sci-fi with alternate versions of people, especially in a show like Loki, that it is a version of the person who becomes Kang, but it's not Kang.
Sure.
It's Kong.
I'm fearful it's going to be played the same way. So we'll see.
Well, I mean, it's in a weird way, one of the things that also bothered me about some of the ways that they've changed some of the Crisis stuff is I like there being a good version of Luthor out there. So when they change good versions of Luthor into bad versions of Luthor and that kind of stuff, while I understand it, I think when you deal with the multiverse and stuff, you should have Superman should not always be good and Luthor should not always be bad.
Yeah, of course. Alexander Luthor from Earth 3, he's pretty good. They don't play him bad too often.
I like how you had to put in the preface, too often.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean that's the whole deal, right? I mean, the whole
I know.
Yeah. Kang. Kang's a big bad for quite a while. We'll see. I don't know. I hope it's good. They dropped another trailer for the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
Oh, baby, I am in.
Man, it is bizarre how Warner Discovery hired someone by the name of James Gunn, who looks exactly like someone named James Gunn that works for Marvel, but they're like a totally different person. It's like two different people with the same name and that look exactly the same, that have the same job, but it's like I don't know. It's like that Marvel curse. Whenever a creator's at DC and they go to Marvel and they get really bad, I'm very happy that DC's James Gunn is being hired by Warner Brothers. I'm glad we're not getting Marvel's James Gunn. Dude, a holiday special looks like fucking shit. I'm sorry. It looks fucking awful. And I mean, that's part of it, I understand. But it looks so fucking stupid.
It's got Kevin Bacon in it, baby.
It looks so fucking stupid.
It's expanding 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. I'm all in. I'm all in for the expanding. It's great. It's amazing.
No.
I mean, Drax is going to suck.
I'm
like Drax and Mantis are going to be horrible, but Kevin Bacon's going to save it. You watch. Kevin Bacon's going to save it.
Kevin, I'm so sorry that you may get Adam Warlock in Guardians 3. I'm so sorry for you, Kevin.
Not in the holiday special.
No, but he's doing Guardians 3 too. This rogue James Gunn that is doing Guardians 3.
Maybe it's the same James Gunn who made the amazing Guardians 1.
The evil. No. That's the one at DC. That's the one that came over to DC. The evil James Gunn from Earth 3 that made Guardians 2. The holiday special is also making 3. So
I did not watch any of the holiday special trailer. I can't comment. That's coming up this month. I didn't want to see anything that comes out that soon.
Yeah, I don't know. It's for Christmas. Look, it is supposed to be bad. I get it. It's supposed to be bad. It's supposed to be like their version of the Star Wars holiday special. But are
they going to air that again?
No, never. Not when George Lucas is alive.
No, I don't think they will ever air the Star Wars holiday special, but I really want them to. So this is my pitch for how they get away with doing the Star Wars holiday special. They basically Mystery Science Theater it with the Muppets. And then put that on Disney Plus.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
The two old dudes?
It's everyone.
And Beaker?
Just have the Muppets there in the audience making comments, and
the Muppets watch Star Wars.
Charlie, did you see the Guardians holiday special trailer?
Yeah, I did.
What do you think? Remind me of your interest of Guardians 2 as well. I don't remember.
I mean, I do not like Guardians 2 as well as I like Guardians 1, but a lot of that there were certain choices they made in there, like calling Ego a Celestial and stuff that bothered me, like, intrinsically. That being said...
That's like the bottom of the list of things that bother me in all that movie.
But, like, that being said, there were certain things that I absolutely loved, like morphing into David Hasselhoff for a moment. That was really funny to me. So it kind of toes the line where it's down on my list of Marvel movies, but it's not unwatchable for me like it is for you.
So I'm assuming you like the Guardians holiday special trailer.
Oh, I don't know. I'm totally interested in seeing it, and I totally feel like it's going to feel like... To me, all it is a throwback to remember when holiday specials used to be like this, and not just like big movies that they try to turn into holidays. Just in general, holiday specials used to be more akin to that.
Yep.
And from that perspective, I'm interested to watch it, but I also, similar to a lot of things, I have a feeling it's going to be I watch it once and then I'm good.
I'm
fully more.
I want to relive some of my childhood with a holiday special. I'm good. Let's do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
I mean,
all that being said, you haven't mentioned the most important thing coming to Disney Plus, and that's Doctor Who next year.
No.
Oh yeah, that's kind of weird.
No, most important thing is Willow at the end of this month, people. Willow.
Oh, is the new show start?
The end of this month, baby.
Oh, that's cool. I should rewatch the original movie. I haven't seen it in such a long time.
Yeah, you stupid Daikini. You need to rewatch that movie.
Yeah, Doctor Who coming to Disney Plus is very strange. They're just licensing it it's just the modern stuff, right? It's not the old stuff.
So it is as far as I know, it's just the modern stuff, but it's also like, from what I understand, it's the exclusive home. Like, it's not going to be on BBC America anymore, kind of thing, from what I understand. It's airing on the BBC in the
like not on
UK.
TV?
It's airing in the UK on the BBC and everywhere else exclusive to Disney Plus.
Oh, shit. Huh, that's weird. I thought it was just like the streaming platform for it.
No,
Huh.
the way they have marketed this and stated this, and like the station that showed Doctor Who in Australia already put out a statement saying that they were sad to see Doctor Who go. Like, it is the
Wow.
Disney is the home of new Doctor Who.
Crazy. Not to get
Starting
too
with
wanderers.
the 60th.
Not to get too wanderers out here,
Oh,
but
we wandered a long time ago.
Power of the Doctor was very good.
Yes, I enjoyed Power of the Doctor.
Yep, very, very good. We could talk more about that off air. I can move over to DC. DC had all sorts of news too. I gotta start with this one, of course. I gotta start with this one because it just got announced the other day. And we kind of assumed this was going to happen, but very, very unfortunate. And that is Stargirl has been canceled. We are down to our very last remnants of connections to the CW Arrowverse with Superman and Lois, but with Henry Cavill coming back. Superman, I expect they will get their third and final season, and that will be the end of Superman and Lois. Yeah, Stargirl ending, very, very sad. I'm a very big fan of that show. Jeff Johns did a great job. It did not shy away from its superheroic origins. It didn't shy away from costumes and powers, and it it kept the spirit of the JSA, in a very different fashion, of course. But just the last couple episodes are really good. They're doing stuff with Bones and Infinity Inc. and I very sad to see it go. But according to Jeff Johns, they were under the assumption the show was going to end after season 3 because of the sale. I guess we didn't really talk about this, but CW has been sold to Nexstar, which is another big media conglomerate, and they are going to totally change how CW works. And basically, I think almost all original programming is going to be dropped, and it's going to be a bunch of licensed garbage that no one's ever going to care about and whatever. So we will never be talking about the CW again, probably once Superman and Lois is off. But yeah, I'm really sad to see Stargirl go. I really liked it. But he got to basically tell the story he wanted. He said, we assumed it would be canceled after season 3 because of the sale of the network. So we ended it. If it went on to do more, he said, I'm paraphrasing here. He said, we would have come up with more stories, obviously, but it ended. He got to finish it the way he wanted to finish it. So at least there's that. But yeah, Arrowverse, you're almost dead. You're very slow death is almost final.
So
kind of bumming.
In a weird way, I am actually I'm not necessarily happy that it's ending, but at the same time, it's probably better for me long term that it's ending. Just because
for you?
The reality is at this point, I could see going back to watch certain episodes of The Flash, especially like the crossovers, but it's very hard for me to be like, I'm going to rewatch all of The Flash. It just went on too long. Just like a lot of the other stuff, that once you reach a certain number of episodes, my willingness to go back and re-go through it all is easily sort of cut short. So the fact that it's now, it's sort of like the same way you can sit down and be like, yeah, I could reread this entire comic run, or I could sit down and read Kingdom Come. And Kingdom Come is a lot easier to revisit every year or on a regular basis.
Well, yeah, Stargirl was only 39 episodes, right? Because it's 3 13-episode seasons. So
like from a easy to kind of revisit perspective, which matters to me more these days, I actually think it's kind of nice to have a show like that gets to tell the story they wanted to tell, give itself a real ending, and be a little more self-contained, so it doesn't feel like And the other nice thing about that, like when you talk about the Arrowverse, and this is one of the last vestiges kind of the Arrowverse, this was always its own thing. They didn't really do crossovers or anything. Like when you deal with Arrow and Flash and that kind of stuff, like to a degree, it all feels connected, same world, to the point where you almost kind of want to go, I'm going to start watching this, and then when Flash picks up, then I'll go back and watch the Flash, and like it's just this big commitment versus Stargirl is a very individual thing. So I kind of, as sad as I am to see it end, because I would have liked to see more of it, I think it's better for my desire to rewatch it and revisit it over time is a lot more likely now.
Yeah, no, I agree. And especially if they sort of knew going in, maybe this probably into season 2, probably like, yeah, you're probably only going to get one more, then it gave them the ability to do a little bit better than some of these shows that just sort of end out of nowhere. I saw a report that Flash wasn't going to come back in like now, like they don't know when it's going to come back. So maybe spring to finish with the season. I don't know that they've announced a date for it yet. I haven't seen it if they have. So some more TV shows from DC. I feel like we talked about this. Did we talk about like all the other Batman stuff coming? Did we talk about this? Because I feel like I would have prefaced this by saying, Kevin, how excited are you for a solo Scarecrow TV show, a solo Clayface TV show, and a solo Professor Pig TV show?
You and I talked.
I feel like I would have asked you this question exactly.
Well, you and I talked about this in the store.
Maybe that's what it was. Where
you said,
how excited are you for Professor Pig TV show, Kevin?
I know how excited you are that the headline would be local weirdo shows up in pig mask for solo screening at theater.
I'm 1,000% excited for a Professor Pig TV show, but I don't know what the hell that means. What do you do with these? Why is Matt Reeves making a Scarecrow, Clayface, and Professor Pig movie or show or whatever? Like, as villains, sure, but what's the story? What do you do with these guys in like a solo project? Even like
exactly my point. Every time this comes up, exactly my point. Without the superhero as the antagonist, what are you going to watch them do? Just commit crimes and get away with it?
I'll give you this. You don't want to waste an entire movie dealing with the origins of characters. So you do an hour origin special of a villain on HBO Max or whatever, and then you just throw them in the movie and they're there. I could see that. Like, okay, we'll do the Clayface story. We'll do we'll adapt like the comic version and the Batman animated series version. And we could sort of come up with a cool story. Like a one-off, I kind of get. And then they could just be in the movies and as like other characters and you don't have to deal with it. Like that I'm okay with, but I don't. But like, what do you like? Yeah, there's no. Maybe with Scarecrow, you could get away with something a little bit more. I mean, I think there's enough depth there to maybe do something long term. A Clayface and Pig. I mean, no, not really. I mean, they're fun characters, but not something that's going to carry an entire solo movie doing other stuff. Or there's like Morbius, right? Like, so we didn't make him the good guys. You can make Clayface the good guy in his own movie. Like, I don't really get where they go with this stuff.
I tend to agree that they could do a very good anthology series called like The Villains of Gotham or something, and just have each episode focus on a different.
Yeah, I think that would be great. Penguin, I can actually see. It's just a crime show. I'm fine with Penguin. I think like I don't even see like Joker or Riddler or most of these characters. I don't actually see working in any sort of like solo capacity. The Penguin, I do. I think he's a really good choice to do something with because he is of all these characters the most normal and human, which is kind of funny, but he really is just kind of a normal guy for the most part. He's not. There's a lot of layers to the Penguin as far as like a mob boss goes, so they can do a lot with that. I would have a hard time with Professor Pig TV show. I just don't know what you do with that.
I don't know. When I see stuff like this, I honestly just think Gotham, because Gotham got around to telling a lot of those stories without Batman. I don't remember Clayface
Gotham was
per
a weird
se, but
show,
like
though.
Professor Pig they did, and
Yeah, it's a weird show, though. That's what I mean. Gotham's a really weird show.
Yes, it was. Especially because by the end of it, you're like, does Gotham even need Batman? Like, it's the perfect example of a show that is supposed to teach you why Gotham needs Batman, and you immediately go, it really doesn't.
I mean, wouldn't the Professor Pig thing be basically Saw with the killer as the main character?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds great.
And again, sure, a one-off.
Yeah, like a 1 hour show.
Yeah. Sure. There's nothing past that, really.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you do. Well, a person that can carry their own show, that's Jon Stewart. Sounds like the Green Lantern show is still happening in a much different way, but we are going to get that Green Lantern show. Will no longer feature Guy Gardner and Alan Scott. However, it does. Again, the reports are that we are going to get a complete overhaul of the HBO Max Green Lantern show, and it is now going to be a Jon Stewart show, which is great. Like Jon Stewart, perfect. Like great character, obviously very became more famous or became more popular to modern comic people through the Justice League animated series. So, when people are like, if you're going to do Green Lantern, you don't do Hal, you do Jon Stewart, because a lot of people know him from the animation. Which, I mean, look, I still want to see Hal, but John's great. Don't know, no real word on what the show is going to be or anything like that. But this is now the Jon Stewart show is perfect. I'd still like big live action Green Lantern movie. To bring him back, man. Deadpool, we got one more Deadpool, and then it'll be out. Bring Ryan Reynolds over. Come on, James Gunn. He's your buddy. Go get him. You must know Ryan Reynolds. Go get him. Bring him over. Let's get Hal back. But that should be no. You don't want to.
Now, if they brought him back as Booster Gold,
I could see that.
I would be down for Ryan Reynolds as Booster Gold.
I could see that. But Jon Stewart's cool. I like Jon Stewart. I like it's a Green Lantern. I like all the Green Lanterns, so you can do whatever you want. I don't care. I will. I'll be ready for that.
Very curious how they will approach that show. Just from a Green Lantern, a lot of times you get into these big epic stories and stuff nowadays in comic books, but they could also very easily take it back to focus more on these are basically space cops and that kind of thing. So there's a lot of different ways they could approach it. It just depends on the scope that they decide to go for.
And they can just keep it completely Earth-based, and he's just the superhero here, right? They don't even have to get into Oa and all that stuff. I think that's most people love that part of Green Lantern, but I think there's a lot they can say with Jon Stewart about modern day policing and being a black man in America. I'm sure there's a lot of things they could do with that, with the superhero backdrop. So,
yep.
As I said, it just depends on the way they approach it. So I'm super curious.
Yeah, me too. I saved this one for last. I saved this one for you, Kevin.
Oh,
this is a good one. This is a good one. I specifically saved this last for you. I'm going to read here a quote. I'm going to read you a quote from Henry Cavill about his upcoming return as Superman and what he wants to do and what he wants to bring to this role. You ready for it? I have plenty of desires for this, of course, which will be discussed more in time, talking about what he wants to do with the movie. But the most important thing, which I will be aiming for, is for the audience to leave the cinema and to feel like they can fly, to feel like they can protect and to feel like they want to give to everyone else. That would be my goal. I'm so excited to tell a story with an enormously joyful Superman.
So they're retconning everything that's come before. Excellent. You're right. I'm in favor.
Hey,
Kevin, let's do it.
They're not really retconning, more so he's kind of changed since his rebirth from dying and coming back. You know, now he's experienced death, so he's a better person.
I think the movies happened, and now other movies are happening. Yes. And you just go on.
It's like a new creative team taking over the Superman comic.
Yeah.
Yep. And things are just a little bit different now. It's funny. I assume when you read that, most people read that as, because so Zack Snyder's definitely not coming back now. Look, and I think there is a level of, in the Snyder movies, there is that level of power to the character and his, especially Man of Steel, and his, like, he's figuring out how to do this life. He's not the Superman we know. He's in this weird spot. I think they could have, post, right, Justice League or Snyder Cut or whatever. He sort of goes through all this extremely traumatic event right when he becomes Superman, but comes out the other side and is like, oh, hey. I think that's kind of what they tried to do in Justice League, in the Joss Whedon version. They tried, but it's fighting the conflict of the rest of the movie. It didn't go further. It didn't go either way far enough, right? And I love the Snyder Cut, but it is this very specific take on those characters. But yeah, I am very excited for a, like, I don't need him out there cracking jokes, but like, that powerful, just that presence of Superman that's going to inspire awe. And
I think he wants to have his Christopher Reeves kind of moment with Superman.
Oh, well, yeah, I would think like everyone on the role, that's what they want, for.
Right? That's what they're aiming for, and I think that Zack Snyder had his vision for the character, the universe, whatever, but it didn't necessarily have that spark that we got that Christopher Reeves did just so well. So.
Yeah, I think there's the awesome sort of like, and I mean that in like the, awe-inspiring, that sort of like just, these are like gods, right? You got parts of that, but you missed the humanity of it. And I feel like that's what they were trying to kind of do when they brought him back in Justice League, but we didn't really get the full version of it. So,
I think actually Marvel Captain America is a great kind of template of the good direction to go on this. I don't mean the movies. I mean the main character.
Yeah.
Well, the movies can be too, but I just mean like the I think the mistake was a dark Superman in a dark world kind of negates the specialness of the character. The idea is, well, he's invulnerable. What can hurt him? What challenges could he face? What could the stakes be? Well, the stakes could be he wants to save everyone and can't. But he never loses hope. That's the stakes. That's how you hurt the invulnerable man, is in his heart, not in his skin. And so I just hope that whether it's James Gunn or whoever they hire, who's not him, to come along, and because it's easier for an actor to say, I want this and that, and people to feel like this and that. That's great. Henry Cavill's not writing or directing the movie. So you want the team that lines up with that vision. And hopefully, look, we don't have to litigate this. I'm just going to say this and leave it. God knows we've discussed it enough. Hopefully they get it right this time. That's all.
Well, I think you don't get a third chance, right? I think people will give this a shot because it's of how divorced it is from the original stuff. Black Adam may not have been enough to get people out. It feels like a start. Like DC has a lot of uphill battles to fight here to get people back in the theaters for their movies. It was what Toby was saying, right? Like normal people don't know any of this shit. They have no idea. They just, DC movies are kind of bad, right? And that's just all they know. So yes, let's hope this takes this time. I mean, it's easy to say that, how hard can it be? It's Superman. Just write something inspiring. But that's hard, you know? I mean, it's easy to do Batman. Batman's, I think, probably, I'm not a professional writer, but I feel like Batman's really easy to get right. Superman's a little bit tougher. You don't want to come off flag waving and you don't want to come off cheesy and corny, you know, finding that true, authentic, you know, just that voice is tough. And I think you said Cap. I think they did a really, especially Cap 1, especially Captain America 1. They did a really good job. He intentionally, they have him in like the USO and they have him wearing the costume and people are laughing at him, right? Because it's like, he's like, well, no, this is not what I am, right? I really want to do this and be a hero. And so he goes down that path and gets there. Yeah, it's a little bit of an uphill battle. I think they can do it. I hope they can do it. That's all I got. We're going to get out of here. Thank you all for listening. This wonderful podcast. It's a bunch of news, but it's just like stuff, you know? Yeah. Unless we had a 45-minute discussion about Guardians of the Galaxy, I figured it'd be a quick podcast. Kevin, get you to bed early.
Oh, thanks. God bless you. Thank
you. He would have left anyway.
Sure.
Thanks to our... Oh, Brock's all breaking up. Thanks to our high-tier backers, Joe Duff, Kelsey May, Craig Anderson at ClearPathCoaches.com, Jimmy Rivera at the Social Forum Podcast, and Talon Bray. Thank you all and everyone else at Patreon.com/Comic Conspiracy for your support. Please head over to ComicConspiracyPodcast.com, Apple Podcast. You can find all our previous episodes and give them a listen if you missed one. comicsconspiracy.biz is where you can purchase comic books from us. Brock, I believe I said, and I think I'm right, I believe we just passed over 10,000 items on sale on our website. Not items for sale, items on sale. 50% or more off. Back issues, variant covers, graphic novels, all sorts of random crap.
Again at this rate.
Tons and tons
mounted at the warehouse and speakers.
I need a second warehouse pretty soon, Brock.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
To move the stuff from the warehouse. So when me and Marshall want to get rid of stuff, we're like, whatever, just take it to the warehouse. It's fine. And what you and Kevin can do at some point is just go, just take it to the other warehouse. It's fine. And whoever's there then has to deal with it. So you just pass the buck, Brock. Just pass the buck.
You have to give me a place to pass the buck too. Otherwise, I'm just gonna start bringing stuff back to the shop.
I just take it to the warehouse. It's fine. Like Marshall says,
I feel like this is just going to turn into a game of hot potato.
The warehouse is a black hole that things go and never return from. Where do they go? Doesn't matter. Take it to the warehouse. That's what Marshall says. So
no, they return because I bring shit.
Occasionally.
Oh God, the amount transport this, transport that. Monday, all I do is drive.
I know.
Monday, all I do is drive. Pick up, drop off, pick up, drop off, pick up, drop off, pick up, drop off. That's all.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it quite a bit. Check out conspiratorBrock.com. Brock's when he's not driving, he's posting unboxing videos on his website
at some point.
Wanders of the Fourth Dimension podcast. Charlie, do you guys have an all Power of the Doctor blowout mega special?
Yeah, we did a very long recording after Power of the Doctor.
And now a 1 year wait, I believe.
Yep.
Right, to the 60th. So
God,
good episode. Very good episode.
So, Charlie, you definitely went past runtime?
Oh, yeah. We went way past the runtime on Power of the Doctor.
Don't miss Kevin's weekly interview series called Between the Panels at fanbasepress.com. And my wife, Leanne. She's at leannehill.com. You can find her artwork at Etsy.com/shop/Leanne Hill Art. Some of us are still using Elon Musk's social media network. If you would like to follow real people
who don't need to pay $20 for a fucking blue.
Brock is at Brock Sager. Toby never uses it, but he's at Toby XI. Charlie never uses it, but he's at Insanity and Chaos. Kevin uses it, often enough. That's that Kevin Sharp. And the store auto post stuff that I post on Hootsuite. But of course, actually got kicked up. The account got messed up, so I'm waiting on that to get fixed from tech support. That's Comics Con Store.
And what's your username? Is it Elon Musk?
I'm waiting for Jack Dorsey. I'm waiting for Jack Dorsey's Blue Sky social media to go live. So I'll let you know when that goes live. Look, I'm just saying the lesser of three evils, right? The lesser of three evils.
What are the three? Musk is one.
Well, you got Musk, you got Zuckerberg and Jack Dorsey. Okay. It's like, it's like of the three, Dorsey's like way down here. Like he's fine. Like I'm sure he's a sociopath, but he's just a normal regular billionaire, right? Not one of these assholes. I don't even know how much money that dude's got. I don't think he's a billionaire. He's probably a very large millionaire. Maybe he got billions. Did he walk away with billions from Twitter? He might have. Geekbox. We talked all sorts of Halloween stuff. 'Tis the season, and Ryan Scott loves his Halloween. So we talked a bunch of Halloween-y stuff on Geekbox this week. And our friends over at Manga Machinations. Go check them out. Talk about manga and anime. All right, that is it.
I'm going to be on a podcast later this week.
What podcast are you going to be on?
I'm going to make an appearance on Nerds Without Pants.
Oh, that's right, about Horizon.
Doing a Horizon Forbidden West, or they're doing their Horizon Forbidden West one, and I figure with 230 hours of gameplay, I can talk about this game.
Yeah, when do they record? Or do you know when it goes up?
I don't know when it goes up. We'll be recording later this week. So
sweet. Yeah, I think he posted. I think he posted pretty quick. So yeah, it should probably go up. I think same week. So awesome. Have fun with that. That's great.
I will.
Oh yeah. We'll pip it next episode too. Remind me.
Will do.
Okay. Goodbye.